You know, the interesting thing about starting with zero is that you can easily double, easily triple your net worth in few years. But if you're watching this video, my guess is that you're the kind of person who already has some initial sorts of money. You're the kind of person who does not think that 10 lakhs is a big amount of money for a year. You're the kind of person who thinks that, I want to triple my earning, or not even earning, I want to triple my net worth in 3 years. So in this video, I'm going to tell you some basic pointers that people do not understand and that they find extremely counterintuitive of how to 3x your net worth in 3 years. I personally have managed to 3x my net worth in 3 years, but that's also because 3 years ago I was not earning a very large amount of money. I'm still not, but coming from having good networks with people, there are some basic pointers that people just don't understand and that makes logical sense, but in reality it does not actually work. Number one, if you are in the early stages of your career, do not invest any money. Do not buy mutual funds. Do not buy fixed deposits. Do not buy stocks. Do not buy crypto. Do not buy any investments. And here's the reason for this. A lot of people will say, diversify your portfolio. A lot of people will say, oh, I have this stock, this FD, this mutual fund. Great. More often than not, these things give an average of 10 to 20% annualized return. And if you want to get more than 20% annualized return, you have to take a risk, which is also okay. But let's say you get a 20% annualized return. Now, a lot of these influencers will show you an Excel sheet that how this 20% annualized return turns 4,000 rupees into 1 million rupees in 10 years. But you know what? This 1 million rupees could be your monthly salary if you didn't invest this. So what I do and what most people who have good careers do is that they invest in skills and personal brand. Yes, your 4,000 rupees will become 1 million or 10 lakh rupees in X amount of years. That 1 million will become your monthly salary if you have the right amount of skills and personal brand. So let's say you make 50,000 rupees a month, which is a pretty average salary. With this 50,000 rupees a month, I would spend probably 30,000 rupees buying skills. Now you might say, oh, I can just buy an online course for 300 rupees. Why should I spend 30,000 rupees? It's because you're getting it fast. You're getting one-on-one mentoring. You're getting someone who's coaching you. Note, I have none of these things to sell you. I'm not selling you any courses or anything like that. You're getting skills at speed. I personally, over the last 2 months before filming this video, I'd spent about 7 lakh rupees learning coding for 2 months. And the reason for this is because I was learning from a really solid guy. I was learning it in-house, not online. I was learning it with a group of people who also spent 7 lakh rupees, which means I'm building that network with people who can afford that sort of money. I also spend a insanely large amount of money talking to gurus on the internet. There are a lot of people on the internet who will sell you their time for $100 an hour. There are a lot of people on the internet who will just give you advice for $100, $200, $500 an hour. And at first this may seem so stupid, but if you know the right questions to ask, they can be extremely helpful. Number 3, and this is the one that bothers me the most. Don't have multiple income sources. Do you think Jeff Bezos had multiple income sources when he was starting Amazon? Do you think Mark Zuckerberg or Bill Gates were doing dropshipping, e-commerce, day trading, investing in the stock market while building their companies? No. You need to have single-minded focus. And yes, you might say right now Jeff Bezos has all these income sources. Right now Elon Musk has 30 income sources, which is true. But having multiple income sources is a way of maintaining your wealth. It's not a way of creating wealth. And a lot of the YouTubers, a lot of the influencers will say, oh, I do dropshipping, oh, I do day trading, oh, I do this, I do that. How much do they actually make? What if you could make the money that they earn out of all of that in 1 month from one income source? Wouldn't that be more stable? Wouldn't that be something that can grow over time? Wouldn't you have to sell less of your time? Next is be a specialist. Do you think any company wants a guy who has like 500 different skills to do one skill? No. You might think, okay, if I have 500 skills, then the likelihood that I get a job is 500 times because I can apply for all these different jobs. That's not true. It's hurting you. It shows that you don't have focus. It shows that you get distracted easily. In fact, for me, a lot of my friends are really interested in talking about things like politics, talking about things like philosophy, talking about things like psychology. I never talk about that. I never spend my time learning information that is not going to make me money. Honestly, when I had to buy my laptop, I had no idea what to buy. I didn't know how GPUs work. I didn't know that I needed a GPU. What is the difference between GTX, RT? I have no idea. I still have no idea. I just called up one of my friends who's really into laptops and I bought the laptop. And the difference between the quality of laptop I would buy based on if I had done the research or if my friend had done the research, was not that high. It's not life or death. An interesting way of thinking about this is that the horse that runs the fastest or runs the furthest is the one that cannot see on the sides. If you go and ever sit on a horse that does not have the covers on their eyes, you'll see that they keep going in different directions. And the horse that cannot look at the sides is the one that goes the furthest. And that's what you need to do. You don't want to be doing this gig here, this gig that, and they're all good to give you perspective. But you need to know that your end goal is this. You need to know that there is one skill that I want to do that I'm going to do for the rest of my life. It's not, it doesn't make sense to be doing day trading, investing, drop shipping. No. In fact, a lot of these day trader guys, if you ask them how much money they make, it's far less than like an average salary abroad. And lastly, don't believe in the bullshit that you read. People are going to say things like, oh, you need work-life balance, oh, mental health is always a priority, oh, this or that. And honestly, that becomes true if you believe it's true. If you believe that being sad is a bad thing, if you believe that you just want to be happy, you're always going to be sad. If you truly believe that I don't care if I'm sad, happy, depressed, anxious, I'm just going to do my work, that's going to take you the furthest ahead. And this is the mindset that you see with a lot of successful founders. They don't care about their mood, they still get their tasks done. An interesting but very weird thing that happened to me is that I was on an island in Indonesia and there was an insane amount of mosquitoes. Now I was not wearing a shirt because who wears t-shirts on islands? And the mosquitoes were biting me all over. And the girl I was with at the time, she said, please wear a shirt. I said, no, I'm not going to wear a shirt. She's getting mad at me. She's like, why are you not wearing a shirt? Why are you putting so much pain on yourself? And the metaphor was that it's not about the itch, it's not about the shirt. Is that I need to have the ability that even when my entire body is itching, the only thing I can think about is scratching my body. I'm just not going to do it. That doesn't matter. So I walked the entire island without wearing a t-shirt and everybody thought I was crazy. But with that mentality, by going with this mentality, you can kind of eliminate all the garbage from your life and just do what you're supposed to do. And honestly, you know what you're supposed to do. When you feel a pain, when you feel an itch, the correct thing to do, or almost always the best thing to do, is to just ignore it and let it be. If you found this video a bit interesting and you have some suggestions or some opinions of mine that you'd like to hear even just for amusement, do let me know in the comments. Thank you.